Hello everyone, I hope you've had a great day so far and that you're doing well. For this video we'll be going through an unboxing of the Shambling Undead Blood Bowl team from Blood Bowl as part of obviously one of the many different lines released by Games Workshop / Warhammer. So the Blood Bowl stuff is actually going to be relatively short and brief on my channel just because it's nice and I kind of had my leg tugged to get into this, but it's okay, mainly because I figured out how I was going to paint everything. So I do have this and another team that caught my fancy. They'll have a very similar paint scheme when the time comes, but yeah, I will admit it's basically because of co-workers that got me into this. Anyway, enough rambling about that. Front of the box for the Shambling Undead Blood Bowl team. So Blood Bowl, it's been around for a while. I've never really shown too much interest in it, but you know, having two teams isn't too much of a bad thing compared to some of the other stuff that I have for Age of Sigmar and 40k. So front of the box, so we do get to see pretty much the completed team itself in all its entirety. Very cool. Obviously it's part of the Undead faction here, so we do have a number of those Undead units as part of the team. So that does look very cool. In terms of the back, so we get a better idea of what's pretty much included. So there'll be a transfer sheet. In terms of the actual models themselves, we'll have 2 mummies, 2 white blitzers, total of 4 skeleton linemen, 2 different poses, 2 ghoul runners, and 4 zombie linemen of 2 different varieties as well. And then we'll just have some other items such as these Blood Bowl coins and some ball tokens or something, I'm not too sure. But yeah, it's actually not too bad. The team does look very cool, and there's obviously a nice bit of variety between the units. So that's pretty much what everything would look like, assembled, painted in a particular scheme. And will I be using this scheme? I will not when the time comes, but I'll talk about that in a little bit. Anyway, that was the box. Time to have a quick look at basically what was included in the box. Okay, so starting with the very basic instruction pamphlet. So it's just specific to the Undead team, and just your usual pre-ramble stuff regarding the model kits, etc., tools of the trade. If you open it up, we'll pretty much go through the actual steps of putting everything together. It's not too bad. These will not be snap fit models, so you will definitely need glue to put them together. Now, I'm hoping not to go too crazy and wild, so whatever they are, I will probably keep them as they are. I'm not going to try and convert them or anything. It's 14 models. I think that's a lot of effort for something that I like the look of, but I'm not going to be going full on Blood Bowl raving mad. So those instructions put the team together, and then on the back, so we do have some multiple language support here, but the very top section will basically have the information regarding the team, their stats and things like that, I would imagine. Now, I'm not too familiar with the Blood Bowl rules, so I can't really comment on what most of this means. But you know, that's okay. I'm not necessarily here to play with them as a Blood Bowl team. I'm just here just to have a Blood Bowl team that I'm gonna try and paint. So that was the included instructions. What else do we have? Naturally, we have the bases, to which there should be probably around 14. An interesting visitation again back to the bases with the little slots in them. I didn't think any of that will have actually slots in them. But anyway, it doesn't matter. They're here, they're there, that's fine. So bag of those. We have the transfer sheet and some of that wax paper. I think it's just to keep everything safe. So it's an interesting little transfer sheet there. We've got obviously black and white transfers. It's basically the black version of the white version, the white version of black. So we have some labels there, the numbers, different skull icons and things like that. So it's always cool to get some transfers. Am I going to use them? Probably safe to say probably not. We do get 2 runners in total. So if we look at the first one, so here is, I guess, what we'll call sprue number 1. So everything is in the usual typical grey. In terms of when this sprue was done, apparently it's back in 2018. Blood Bowl has been around for a while. Even I think I'm pretty sure Blood Bowl was around back in my foray back into 40k back in the day. So as I said, it's been around for a while, but I have had very little. I don't want to say interest. That's very harsh. There's just not been enough appeal to Blood Bowl to get me in. But anyway, here's one of the runners. So no doubt these are pretty much in a similar proportions, etc. of actual undead minis from, I'm assuming, Age of Sigmar. That, if it's not Age of Sigmar, it'll obviously be Fantasy of the Old World. And then runner number 2, which, when I think about it, I think is an exact copy. So if I do this, yes, it is an exact copy. So yes, the 2 sprues we get is basically, it's 1 sprue times 2. So if you've seen 1 sprue, you have literally seen them all. But that is very cool. So there's the coin, those little hand effects and things like that. So yeah, definitely looking forward to putting these together when the time comes. And as I said, I'm just going to pretty much do it as a straight build. Okay, so that pretty much brings us to the end of the unboxing of the Shambling Undead Blood Bowl team for Blood Bowl. Definitely looking forward to putting them together just because it is something outside of the 40k norm. So that's always a nice little novelty. And as I mentioned, I'm not going to do anything too wild or extreme in the way of conversions, etc. Just do a straight build, just to keep things easy. But in terms of painting, and I think I would have mentioned this when I was doing the unboxing for, actually maybe I didn't mention it, for Thanatek's tires from Warhammer Underworld. I like the undead thing, but I'm pretty much going to follow the undead theme of the Scourge from World of Warcraft. So hopefully using more of the more paler skin, the bluey shades, and that type of style. So should hopefully make things a little bit easier to paint in theory. Probably be doing a lot of contrast and speed painting, especially with the flesh. But yeah, I'm hoping that will make things a little bit easier to paint, and then obviously I can pick out any details as needed. So yeah, that'll be the plan for when the time comes, but obviously getting these bits off the sprue will be the main thing. Anyway, leaving it there. So it's pretty much covered what's in this box, what the team looks like, and what my future intent is with them. Time will tell how it all pans out. Thank you very much for watching this unboxing video. Feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed the content. All of this does help support the channel, and I do appreciate it. Feel free to check out my Instagram as well as the YouTube community tab for some work in progress stuff of what I'm actively trying to do, which may or may not be even Warhammer related. With that being said, stay safe and take care, and I'll catch you all in a future video. See ya.